Hey everybody, it's Heidi with Zing Astrology, Sacred Moon Farm, and it's the winter solstice today, the longest night of the year, and such a spiritually significant time, I think. Especially astrologically, we're coming out of the Mercury retrograde, and it was an intense Mercury retrograde, and I feel like there was a lot of collective emotion and grief in the air the last couple of months. And this longest night is kind of this energetic spiritual time to look back over 2024 and be grateful for what we've achieved, what we were blessed with, our family, friends, all that we were able to do, our healthy bodies, all that we were able to overcome, um, and all that we were able to feel and experience, um, good or bad. Last night, I watched Inside Out 2 for the first time, and I absolutely loved it. And it really spoke to me even about this time of winter solstice and kind of embracing every emotion and every part of ourselves. Um, Even the parts we're maybe ashamed of or scared of or want to hide, like our feelings of powerlessness or feelings that we don't have it all together. And I don't know if you've seen the movie or not, but it was so much about it was actually about the teenage stage of life, but I think it's true for any stage of life. The anxiety, the joy, the sadness, the grief, the embarrassment, the hope, all these emotions that we have make us who we are. And the more we're able to incorporate all of that and be okay and integrate that into ourselves. Like in the movie, there's a part where she has a lot of anxiety. And so all the emotions get put over into a little jar because she doesn't want to face them. The anxiety kind of takes over, and sadness and joy, they're just getting in the way of what anxiety wants to accomplish, like the perfectionism and that kind of thing. And it was so sweet to kind of watch how our memories, our values, our beliefs make us who we are. And it's a mixed bag of success and defeat and sadness and hope and fun and joy. And that's the human experience. And I think during the winter solstice, it's that time to kind of look back and remember and reflect on what our human experience was this year. So it's also the beginning of Capricorn season, which is Capricorn represents the bones in the body, the skeletal system, and truly represents the foundation of our body, but also the foundation of our dreams. And I was thinking a lot about how, even though we are in a reflective state looking back during the winter solstice, and it's so, I think, important to take that time, even if it's just 10 minutes, to be with yourself, light a candle, drink a warm drink, think about, if you can, journal about what you're grateful for this past year, what you're grateful for just in general, and maybe thinking about what you want in 2025, how you want to feel, and some things you want to bring in. But just taking that time to just kind of feel into where you are and where you've been and embrace all the things. The grieving parts, the tears, the losses, the letting go. And I was with some of my girlfriends the other night. We were talking about tears and how cleansing they are and how they do make space for um, a new version of us and for other experiences. And that tears are so healing and cleansing, and to allow that to come out of us if that's what shows up for us. Um, and then looking ahead, the Capricorn energy is so much about building. So we may be feeling simultaneous. There's so much fruitfulness and darkness because the seed is in the dark first. It's in the ground. It hasn't quite reached the sun yet. It hasn't grown. It hasn't burst forth, but there's so much power in the seed. Even the Bible talks about the mustard seed and how tiny it is and how it becomes the biggest tree of all. And so that power that's in the seed right now, the power that's in the dark, in the darkness, kind of resting and waiting. And we may feel ourselves start to dream and hope and kind of think about what's ahead. And so it's kind of like being in the magic, being in the flow and the gratitude, but also feeling this this desire to start planning and this desire to start taking action in the areas of life we want to. So it's kind of respecting the emotions, respecting and honoring where we're at and what the past has been, but we don't have to stay there to celebrate the winter solstice. We can definitely start these kind of sparks of hope. And I did add a poem in this email to kind of talk about the power of the seed and the power of the dream. And also wanted to remind everyone that in January 11th, we'll be doing a vision board workshop here at the farm. And the reason I want to do that is one, because I do one every year and I believe in them. They work. It's a beautiful visual way to bring your dreams into reality. And to be in community, January is a very kind of gray, dark month, and we're kind of hungover from the holidays. And it's a beautiful time to get with community and to be in that space of dreaming and creating and envisioning is really magical and has a really high vibration. And to be able to create a work of art that you can keep in your home as a reminder of what you want to feel and achieve and create for the year ahead. So don't forget to sign up for that if you'd like to join us. We'll be supplying all of the materials and we'll be eating and drinking yummy stuff, which is so fun too. So let me make sure I'm not forgetting anything. I did want to bring up, like, not to fear the darkness. And I feel like I suffer from seasonal depression. I know the darkness can be feel heavy, but yet it's an important part of the cycle. It's an important part of going in and being real with ourselves and having to face ourselves with less distractions. But to understand that the darkness is fruitful and there's a lot of seeds we can be planting right now, because without this stage, if you just think in nature, there's always a seed before the plant grows, right? Or before the flower blooms. There's always a beginning, and we cycle back to that death, release, and then beginning again, just like in the zodiac and the astrology cycle and the moon cycle. The cycle is a sacred experience that we align with. And instead of fighting it, surrendering, and then winter solstice is just one of those times that reminds us there is light. There is light. Light a candle. It's sunny today, which is beautiful. And we are going to be getting longer days by the minute from this point on. So enjoy the solstice, whether you're with friends or alone, and take that time to reflect, but then also be open to that planning Capricorn energy, which is with us as well, that wants us to start dreaming into our 2025. All right, take care. Hope to see y'all soon.